Yeah, I was in the house, man. I gotta get me a motherfucking air conditioner or some shit. It's hotter than the motherfucker in my apartment.
Huh.
Shit.
Hey, yo, we back on again with King Righteous. I kind of titled this one Truth and Lies, but it could be whatever. It can be whatever we make this particular session. You know, even though Truth and Lies, we dealing with that on a daily. Matter of fact, we just got done talking about some
Right, some real shit.
real shit that kind of falls under that.
Right.
So, I don't know. Matter of fact, this falls under how, you know, they don't send out these notifications. It's like, that's a form of discrimination. You know, they don't want brother communicating. I've been kind of experiencing that. You know, kind of like that last one we did, you know, they wasn't really letting too many people in. But it did magnificent. I mean, it did numbers for, you know, even though we're in the age of them trying to, you know, censor and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we got one person that chimed in. Matter of fact, hey, weigh in and say what's up. I know Joe Frank came in. He said LER. I don't know what that means, Joe Frank, but I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate the thumbs up. I don't know what's on y'all's mind.
Shit, I mean, we can, you know, pick up where we left off, you know, where...
Yeah.
We was talking, you know, because he was dropping some jewels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, as far as dealing with R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, it's messed up what they doing to R. Kelly, man.
Right.
You know? You know, but I know, I've heard it's about his publishing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that man done made some hot songs.
Right.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it ain't just, I mean, we can just run the record. It ain't no secret. Just like, you know, Ken said, we got to think outside the box. We just listening to what they saying.
Right.
But it's a bigger picture than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, run the road, man. Listen to, look at what they did to Bill Cosby. He's the latest victim.
Right.
You know, as far as dealing with the black man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they got rid of Prince.
They got rid of Prince.
You know,
yep.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know? And,
even before that, what, James Brown?
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And then look at our man Red Fox.
Oh, yeah, he's a perfect example.
You know what I'm saying? He died broke.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So come on now. It's just like, and then, like Ken was saying, you know, they just created these charges overnight. They did that with our man Jack Johnson.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's when this all that started. With Jack Johnson. That's he was tearing them white girls off.
Mm-hmm. Riding Rolls Royces way back then.
Right. You know, so come on, man. It's just a big conspiracy going on, like my man said, to destroy the black man. You know what I'm saying? And they try and gentrify our neighborhoods and just move us out. Just really trying to get rid of us. You know. And Trump, he up in office, running the White House like some Gestapo. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, if you think about it like this, I know Trump is a puppet. You know, he is someone bigger than him bossing on him, telling him you got to act like this or whatever.
Somebody's pulling the strings.
Right.
Ain't no question, you know?
Just like when Barack Obama was in office, the same thing. There's a different face in a different body in a chair, you know.
They got a different manager.
Right.
Basically, you know, somebody running the department.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, it's crazy, you know, just to think about all the stuff that's transpiring, that's going on.
But like I mean, I was chiming in on a live stream that was with Shad and Lisa Smith. Essentially, with this R. Kelly situation, like you said, they're rewriting these laws overnight, like how Ken said. But a lot of people that participate in certain lifestyles ain't understanding how this is gonna affect their lives. Right. This is just because they think, oh, this is just a musician. This don't got nothing to do with me.
Kelly thing,
no, it went from human trafficking to sex trafficking.
Yeah, and that's a whole different law.
Right. And they're showing you right in front of your face what it is. but people ain't paying attention. Like I said, they got all these other channels on here promoting, lascivious acts instead of really, putting people up on this particular type of game that you need to be paying attention to.
Right.
You already see they're giving brothers football numbers for certain cases that back in the day wouldn't even have got any of that type of attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to get bit by that one.
So you figure that they're putting that on it, and they make they make certain people register as sex offenders and things like that. So that's totally knocking you out of the game. Matter of fact, it's people you can't be around certain schools and all that kind of stuff, and you may not have did anything that's on a level of what a real deemed sex offender is. But since you participated in a certain part of a life, this is how they cancel you. If you're gonna be out, this is how they have you on the hook. Well, if we find you in this, we could throw the key away forever.
We're gonna throw you under the bus. Yeah, it's just, man, it's messed up, man. It's just, but I'm gonna say it like this, man. I know, we walking through the valley of shadow of death.
Daily.
And they ain't let up on us. They still trying to, like you say, get rid of us and throw us under the bus,
Right.
So, and like a man said, brothers just gotta gird up their loins, man, and turn their plows into pruning hooks. You know what I'm saying? Use the biblical scripture. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's because it's like, man, we at war.
Right.
Yeah,
Truly.
It ain't no secret. I can't make this up. You study our sojourn here in this country. We are at war, mentally, spiritually, morally. You know what I'm saying? Physically. They trying to get rid of us.
Right.
Like Trump ain't trying to make America great again. He's trying to make America white again.
Right. Matter of fact, and it shows like this, it's all throughout this globe. It ain't just, okay, it's just over here in America or somewhere in the UK. This is all across this globe.
Well, yeah,
that's against us.
A global conspiracy to, contain or destroy, the black race, which is impossible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's impossible. You can't, destroy the original message. Right? Yeah, you can't destroy the original man, though.
Right.
Because we've been here, from the beginning. We're still here.
But I look at it like this. Just think of how, the United States has so many bases in so many countries to essentially be the police for certain regions of different countries, to protect their interests. Well, think about us as, black people. They have certain laws and certain things put in place to kind of, okay, if you do this, then, we can do that. If you do this, and it's double standards too. What applies to maybe this certain ethnicity doesn't apply to you. They'll totally ignore it when it comes to you.
What you gotta understand what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a global conspiracy. What's called white supremacy.
White supremacy, right?
Okay, that's just the bottom line. So when you deal with white supremacy, right, like I said, it's global. It's not local. It's not a local thing. It's not just a national thing or an American thing. It's a global thing, though. The white man, wherever you go, wherever you find the black dynamics, you're gonna find the white on top, the black on the bottom. Regardless of what type of society it is, whether it's a socialist, capitalist, communist, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find that white, wherever you find that white-black dynamic, you're going to see the white on top, the black on bottom. So whites are taught white superiority, and blacks are taught black inferiority. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And like what you just said as far as the basis, America, or the Western world.
Right, the Western world.
And in particular, like NATO, all these other European countries work together.
Right.
They want to be the world police.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's to keep the darker races, in check.
Yeah.
And that's what, because just like they did Africa, just like they did our brother Gaddafi.
Mm-hmm.
They did,
Good example.
Saddam Hussein.
Exactly.
It's another form of colonialism.
Mm-hmm.
They call it the neocons. They're the modern colonialists.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we call neocons, the
right.
neo-colonialists, because they want to recolonize these areas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what these the world police, you know what I'm saying?
The military, NATO, NATO.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And America is the superpower behind that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're the big superpower behind NATO. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's just like, that's what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what's really going on right now as far as America dealing with Iran.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like you were saying earlier, there's a hidden hand behind all of this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that hidden hand is behind this America and Iranian conflict is really Israel. Okay,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that. They don't want to speak on that.
Right.
They don't want to say the J word.
Right.
It's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like our sister in Congress, what's her name, Omar?
Yeah.
They own her.
Mm-hmm.
She made a statement, which was true, but they don't want you speaking on that.
Right.
It's like they feel like they're untouchable or they can't be judged.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they, sadly mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
God is on the scene today. And
True.
they're being judged
Mm-hmm.
as we speak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I like this platform, even though it's censored. The brothers and sisters that do get it, you get to get an interpretation that is not spoken on in a lot of different areas. You ain't going to hear this on the mainstream media talking about this.
Right, for the news media.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your local newspaper. And I listen to them. I listen to our local news.
Right.
World news tonight. And, you know what I'm saying? News at 11.
I listen to it for what they're not saying. You can't listen to it from what they are saying. From the aspect of what they're not saying. Like, okay, you covered this, but within this story, what are you not covering? What do you not want to speak on?
Well, you see, in these newscasts, it's all controlled.
Right.
You get the same, news briefings basically from every channel. Channel 4, Eyewitness News, KSTP, whatever. Care 11. They're all controlled. This is a controlled conglomerate. So what you're getting is what they want you to hear.
Right.
So we get tidbits or snippets of certain things. You know what I'm saying? And we may hear more negative things that's happening in the world than positive, constructive things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I love to watch, news, when I get that information, you know what I'm saying? Is I know one thing. It's propaganda.
Right.
That's just basically, if we look, so you look up the word propaganda, that just means it's a controlled source.
Right.
That's giving you what they want you to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like you said, you got to read in between the line, and then you got to do your research on whatever it is that probably caught your attention or what, the topic, may have been. So you may get a little bit more informed when you grab the newspaper. See, because you got the reporters or the people that's writing these articles about the certain topic.
True.
You got the briefings on, because that's what news really is, just briefings.
Right.
Because you can't get the full story in 5 minutes.
Right.
Or
But see, I look at it like this. This is what I associate with. Just like we have fire, we have, like paramedics, we have the police. Well, you can also add that to the news media, because think about it like this. What do police do when they first come in, before they come in their shift? They have roll call. Okay, you're going to hit these areas today. Yeah, right. We're going to be doing this. This is our agenda that done got handed down from the powers that be, what we need to do in these communities. Well, that's the same thing with these news reporters. They have a roll call. What stories we need to hit to push narratives.
Right, that's what I said, It's all controlled. It's a controlled entity.
Right.
So, but yeah, you can get that information, those briefings or them snippets or whatever, and then you can do your research on whatever topic it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why, I collect news clippings too. So when I read certain times, something that catches my attention, not just a whole bunch of frivolous or foolishness, but something that's really important, a hot topic, whatever. Yeah. I cut the article out because I get more in depth. I get more information as far as, you know, the person that did the reporting or gather more information.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? On that source.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I can dig deeper into whatever topic it is, you know?
Right.
So that's just basically how I do things. But like our man said, one thing he said, he made a good point, is that we have to do, as black men in particular, we have to become more analytical and more critical thinkers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We definitely have to become that.
That is
You know
true.
what I'm saying? Regardless of what we done accomplished,
Mm-hmm.
where we feel we at this point stage in our lives,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to see the next generation grow, or us make it to the next, you know, 10 or 20 years, yeah, we're going to have to become some critical thinkers.
Right.
And analysts.
Because it's definitely how he stressed
Yeah.
how the black communities throughout
Mhm.
the United States, even out of the United States, we're in a terrible situation
Right.
when you really look at it.
But yeah, right. But this is, you know, to touch on that, as far as America is concerned, this is the melting pot.
Mm-hmm.
This is a unique, you know, place throughout the world. You know,
Right.
because you can't go anywhere else in the world and see everybody from different countries in those countries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
Everybody. But you can come here and see
Yeah.
everybody from every country all over the world is here.
Right.
Starting with the English.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Them the main, you know, culprits that came here.
Right.
Okay? So
Invaders.
So as far as, you know, us being in our world, yeah, this is our world. But we gotta think outside of this
Right.
box, this comfort zone. Because like he said, yeah, I've seen it. I grew up in South Minneapolis. It sometimes kind of sickens me when I drive through down Lake Street or down 38th Street, or, you know what I'm saying? Because I know how these neighborhoods used to be.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Or you're walking through the community, and these people that's been strangers to the community are looking at you like, you know,
ain't supposed to be
you
here.
ain't supposed to be
But
there.
I'm like, I was here before y'all even been here.
Right.
You know, I remember when it wasn't none of this.
Mm-hmm.
Riversides, you know,
North Loop.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
things
yeah,
like that.
come on, man. I'm like, this used to be a whole white area.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
The Riverside.
Mm-hmm.
And the only niggas that was running through there was us.
Right.
The skis, we was running there getting into stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, we didn't see all this, you know, the Africans and the Somalians,
Mm-hmm.
the Africans, I'm talking about continental
Right.
Africans, you know.
Right.
Or
Different
the
regions.
Mexicans,
Right.
or you know, and if any minority, it was us and the natives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so
Wasn't no Hmong.
it wasn't none of that.
Yeah.
So now I see this shift in dynamics
Mm-hmm.
and the gentrification that took place in our neighborhoods. I'm like, wow.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, they just got rid of us.
Mm-hmm.
Basically replaced. And I saw it coming, you know, about 20 years ago. I said, these the new niggas.
Yeah, they
That
are.
was my attitude.
Mhm.
I saw all these Somalians having all the jobs at the airports and here and there, whatever, doing what they was doing.
Right.
I said, they're replacing us
Mm-hmm.
with these niggas.
Right.
They may not see themselves as niggas, but to the white man, you a nigga. You
Right.
just a sand nigga or a nigga from the jungle.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? To them.
You're the one buying our ideology for now.
Right. So they like, but these niggas right here, we don't have no more use for them because they ain't no more cotton to pick. You feel me?
Essentially.
Yeah, so we ain't got no use for them. So we either gonna
So
lock them up
or
or
shoot
let them kill themselves or kill them off. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't giving them no damn reparations.
Nope.
They made that clear.
Huh.
So that's why they want to get rid of us, and that's why they hate us so much, because they know they owe us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, they can't deport us. You know, what they
Right.
can do is lock us the fuck up.
Right.
or kill us. Like you
Mhm.
said, you know what I'm saying?
Justifiable homicide.
Exactly.
I felt it in fear of my life. So,
Right.
you know, I thought he had a gun. I thought. Thoughts enough to get him off.
Yep. So I mean, and it's real, man. So yeah, we definitely, you know. So man did put something on my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, for
Yeah.
real. You know.
I wasn't even thinking
thinking
about going
about
in that direction like that.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't thinking outside the box as far as asking those questions. But
Right.
He right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you know, he passed the baton. You know, passed some jewels on. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, You got two birds with one stone.
Right.
Can't hit a motherfucker.
Right.
For real.
I was only stuck like,
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
And I consider myself sharp, so
That's our big brother. That's our elder.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because he older than both of us.
Right.
You know? What kind, like 54, 55?
Yeah, something
55,
like that.
yeah.
I think 55.
Yeah, so yeah, man, it's real. You know, so.
Man.
I definitely, you know, and I've been thinking, I know I've been slacking or whatever, but it's just like, you know, I just got to get focused. That's what it's about, just getting focused.
Right.
Then I'll become more of a critical thinker.
And everybody needs to get that.
Oh,
I mean,
that's why I'm saying it.
Everybody
You know
needs
what
to
I'm
get that.
saying?
You know, don't think you're right. I know everything I need to know. That's when you're slipping.
That's why I'm saying it. You know,
Right.
because I've been studious all my life.
Right.
But I know I'm not critical. I'm not, because in this hour, I'm not being critical. I'm not really being analytical like I really should. So therefore, there's a whole lot more that I can contribute or that I should be doing.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I ain't got it all. I ain't arrived yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We almost there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And just, you know, some small conversations, some people may think like, well, from what I'm getting, you know, I'm feeling what, I mean, you can feel where I'm coming from. You may even feel some of the things that, you know, we're, you know, letting on to is enlightening you. But, you know, when you know in your own mind is, you know, it's more information you can seek.
And right. And when you look at this situation or our condition from a broader perspective, then you got to take a deeper look into yourself and realize it's something more. You know, we got to check ourselves. Like, what else can I contribute to help not only elevate, you know, ourselves or reach out to our brothers and our sisters in the community or help better the situation.
Right.
You know, so where can I add on?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to ask ourselves. It's not about, you know, it's just me getting mine, or I don't, you know, me thinking I don't ride on top of my horse, and I don't just said the hell with everybody else.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? That's where we make our mistake, because that's how they keep us divided.
Yeah. Plus, in the common deck is gonna reach back in another way. So, okay, you forget your brother in this aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something else is gonna come up further down the road where, man, this brother I could assisted on something simple. Now, you know, he didn't put the piece of steel to my ribs or something for something petty where we could, you know, handle this another kind of way, you know?
Or better analogy is like, if we try to get to the top of that pyramid,
Right.
Only way we're going to get up there is, you know, from those on the bottom. There's going to be the bulls on the bottom that's going to help push us up on that pyramid.
Right.
You feel me?
Okay, Fresh Out the West came in and he said, Fresh Freddy, just now tuning in. What's up, fellas? What's going on? We just talking about the condition of our people and these new laws that they're rewriting overnight, you know, trying to
entrap our brothers.
Yeah, entrap our Kelly, you know. And this thing, it's another one that hit too that they've been stressing. I'm gonna speak on a point I don't think nobody's covered. You know, a lot of people been talking about this Jermaine Dupri. Oh, he said he talked down on stripper female rappers or whatever like that. So they want to try to throw him under the bus like that. But why isn't nobody addressing who asked him that particular question? Who drafted that question like that for him to answer that? That's who I want to know. Who was the person that did that? Why did they do that? Why did they pick him to ask him that?
Right. And why is that such a big issue anyway?
Right.
You know? Like all our women just supposed to be strippers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We live in a corrupt society. It's very immoral, you know, and a lot of this corruption is coming to an end. I can feel it and I believe it.
Right.
That this, you know, America's really is on her last leg. You know, as far as all this corruption in society and the way they're dealing with us in particular. You know, so.
Right. Another thing a lot of people ain't speaking on, like I think it was just yesterday, New York had a blackout or whatever.
Yeah.
They said that was 42 years from the last blackout, from like back in 1977. Well, 42 years, if you think of the number 42, that's always associated with, you know, black. You know, if you get into the gematria,
okay,
you know, that 42 if you spell out black, it sums to the the number of 42. I mean, a lot of things you can put with 42 is kind of aligned with something bad. So why do they pick that particular number? I mean, why did the black? Because matter of fact, it was a blackout that happened after that. Like, I want to say it was either in the early 2000s or something like that. This is not just the only blackout that has happened. It was one recently that happened before then. But you got to pay attention to, matter of fact, like I said, research gematria. That's basically finding the number codes behind certain words that are said.
Well, I'll say this. I know one thing's gonna get blacker in America. Yeah, just New York just think they had a blackout. It's gonna get blacker in this country. I mean, just watch the weather. I mean, we see what happened. I mean, the floods.
Oh yeah, down in someone was talking about there in New Orleans.
I mean, the tornadoes.
Because matter of fact, Oklahoma was experiencing floods and tornadoes and all that.
I mean, the West Coast just had an earthquake.
That too.
So it's just, I mean, God is real. I mean, that's what I associate with God. I don't associate it with Hurricane Katrina and Sandy and Susie and Brenda and all these names they got for these disasters. We call it God.
The Most High.
Or Allah to be exact. That's where we got, that's my position.
Right.
So, y'all say He in control of all this. So, the white man don't control this.
No.
They may give you, the reports of what's about to come. When they check the wind pattern, they be like, damn, this shit headed west. That shit coming here. You know what I'm saying? But they don't control it.
Right. Tommy Wayne came in and said, hi, bro, nice channel. Hey, appreciate it. Matter of fact, if any of y'all got anything to add to it, add your comments or throw your number up. I'll hit your line. You can join in on this conversation if you feel fit to, do so. But yeah, I just think a lot of people need to, pay more attention. Like you said, critical thoughts, put it into play. There's a lot of things going on and it's happening momentarily. Like right now, it's probably they're up late night trying to write. Okay, what kind of law can we write right now and pass it in where nobody even see it?
Of course, while we sleep, they planning. They planning as we.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but matter of fact, I'm gonna do some research more myself because a lot of people is stuck on the human trafficking. Like, no, it's just human trafficking. No, they're introducing the sex trafficking now. So that encompasses a whole bunch of little different things. Essentially
that changes the rules.
Right. Because essentially what he said, you get a ticket for a female to come fly out to you. That could be interpreted as something.
And she underage.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Basically, it's just like he said, we can't even holler at a young broad no more. When back in the day, before they made all this bullshit up, these laws about underage women, as far as I'm concerned, I look at my grandma and grandfather's birth certificate. They was married at 16, 14.
Right. And it wasn't nothing there.
It wasn't an issue.
Right.
Grandma had her first child at 15. It's a normal thing. But this is what happens when you are a captured people. This is the type of stuff that we gotta encounter.
Right.
Because we're the only people in this country that's not free.
Right.
See.
Let me see. So, Tommy, I don't got my number out yet. Matter of fact, post your number. As soon as you post it, I'll delete it out and I'll hit your line like that. I don't got a set number to do it yet. So throw your number up. As soon as I get it, I'll knock it out the chat stream. Nobody see it on the replay. And I'll hit your line like that to join this conversation.
Yeah, so we're the only people in this country, the black man and woman, that don't have our own laws, our own government.
Right.
We are subjected to the system. We've been subjected to the system for over 400 years. You know what I'm saying? Since we've been in servitude in this country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that that Star Spangled Banner symbolizes our demise. That symbolizes slavery, suffering, and death. Okay, that's what that symbolizes for us. It's not a symbol of our freedom.
Right.
It's a symbol of this country's freedom as far as dealing with the Europeans.
Right, built on the backs of our suffering.
You know, they enslaved one race and they killed off another. That's how they gained the independence.
Right.
You know. So the only true American, if you look up the real definition of American, is those that are not of the Aboriginal race. That's the English. Okay, it's not the Africans or the natives. Those that aren't Aboriginals are not Americans. See, so those that are of the Aboriginal family are indigenous to this land. Okay, that's the natives. You know what I'm saying? Africans, we was here before Columbus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not. Yeah, before they started bringing slave ships and folks cargo of our forefathers over here. We were already in this country.
Right.
Yeah.
But they want to paint that other picture.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
So.
Just like I was on a different, I was in the comment section of a news feed, and they were talking about how, they done discovered some new tombs in this pyramid, and I was basically saying it's never been any bodies found in a pyramid. Right. In the Valley of the Kings, yeah, but not in no pyramid.
Where?
Yeah, I'm saying in Egypt.
In ancient Egypt.
Yeah, and the things that they extract, they were trying to paint the picture like, well, these mummies, they were European. Like, there was no Europeans coming out of no.
Well, those pyramids were tombs. Right. They were tombs. That's where a lot of our ancestors, went to bury themselves. You know what I'm saying? Then when they like them shows they made, the Indiana Jones and all that stuff, what the Europeans really are is grave diggers.
Yeah, that's what the Raiders of the Lost Ark was about.
All that type of stuff, that's what that really symbolizes. So when they went into them tombs and went to the burial grounds, that's what they were. They were tombs. That's what they found. They found our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't Europeans.
No.
Because they never stepped foot in Europe. They was always in that land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we say Egypt. So when we say Egypt, you got to understand the language we're speaking, that's Greek. That's a Greek name.
Professor Dr. West said grave robbers.
Yeah, exactly. Then it was the folks that robbed Kemet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it was before the Greeks or the freaks came into that land. Okay? Yeah. They dug up our forefathers and foremothers and, said, hey, shit, look what we discovered.
Because essentially, that's what they say. The Arabs are the Greeks that never left.
Yeah, you're right. The Aryans. Exactly. So those were the Nile Valley. So we're not just talking about that one, particular area, which is southern, which we call northern Africa.
Right.
If you look at, but really what I've learned is that projection that we've been given is not right and exact. It's really what is north is really south, and what south is north. Okay, but just for communication's sake. So for that part of northeast Africa, what you're saying is Egypt. That was once Kemet.
Right.
Where in the biblical term, it's the land of Mizraim. Okay, in the Bible, that ancient Egypt was Mizraim. Okay.
Right.
So, but in the southern portion of that country, Egypt, is the Sudan. That's Egypt also. That's Kemet. That was once a part of, the northern part was Kemet, and the southern part was Nubia.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know it was pyramids in Sudan either. I mean, you can look that up right now and see it.
Well, that's where that's the earliest pyramids was down in that region, where the Kushite Empire once was. Okay. Yes, now, of course you know why? The main reason they don't know about that, because they wiped it out of history. So if anybody's curious about the earliest Kushite or Kemetic civilization, go. If you want to know about the ancient Nubia, go study the 25th dynasty. Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, it's still a lot of statues that don't have their noses knocked off, and you can tell by the ones that the noses are still there what type of person it was. It wasn't a European person.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a lot of monuments, that was destroyed.
Right.
Because they didn't want to want to remember, them to remind people that this was an African civilization. This was once a great, empire, especially the Kushites empire. The ancient Nubians. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they fought against that upper region, okay, which they call Kemet.
Right.
Yeah, the Nubians or the Kushites, they really coexisted. They had the same type of culture because they were all on the Nile Valley. But what I've learned is the Kushites represented that Kemetic or that Egyptian culture better than they did. Yeah, and they were black. They wasn't all mixed up like the northern ones were. That's what it was. They were more, sort of like, when you get in a society, you got more mixed race, or instead of just going to one part of the society where it's just all dark cats, you know what I'm saying? That's how Nubia was. That's how ancient Kush was. They were real dark. If you ever seen Sudanese, they look like that shirt. That's how them motherfuckers look like this. They don't look, they ain't no, you make no, they look blue. They so black, they blue, purple, black. Real talk. They blacker than midnight. That's how black them motherfuckers
is. Fresh Off the West added too. He said, when he said grave robbers, he said they're still doing it. Most definitely they're still doing it. All throughout this globe, not just one region, all throughout the globe. Matter of fact, I want to say it was one, I can't remember the particular, I think it was one African, they wanted to get some of their artifacts back. I want to say it was from Paris, and they said they had to pay them to get it back. I'm like, why would we have to pay you to get artifacts back that you originally stole from us?
Right.
But that's how the system is set up throughout the world.
But like I said, if you really want to study that empire, the Nile Valley, you gotta study not just Egypt. You gotta study the whole Nile.
Right.
Study ancient, Kebalon. Before it was Africa. Study the Kushite Empire, the 25th dynasty. And then you'll get some real, you can go online and pull that up.
Right.
The 25th dynasty. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Hey, and if you ain't like this particular live stream, this is the opportunity to thumbs it up, I think me and Righteous been kicking something that's needed on a lot of young brothers, even older.
Man.
All kinds of minds need to hear this.
Young.
Right.
8 to 80. It's a jewel.
I appreciate them thumbs up. So like I said, add to the conversation. I know a lot of people are like, man, I don't want to put my number up, but like I said, I do the right thing. As soon as I see it come up, I knock it out so nobody else will get it, nobody else will see it, and I'll hit your line, and you can add what you want to add without having to keep trying to text it in the chat like, I want to say this or I want to say that, because I've did it before. If you've been on here long enough, you can see I did various other live streams where I did the exact same thing. People, chimed in and spoke what they need to speak.
How long we been on?
Oh, 40 minutes. 2 minutes away from 40 minutes. So if nobody has anything else to add, I guess we kind of cover some areas. Matter of fact, if you ain't caught RYCHUS's last live stream, it's called The Struggle. Go back and check that. That's probably about 2 or 3 or 4 videos back. And go look at that one. It was a lot of necessary information was, passed within that session as well.
Right. Yeah. So that's probably, the jewel I gotta give. It's just that, right, we need to study more, just analyze things a little bit more, become more critical thinkers.
Right.
And start thinking outside the box as a people. And that's just for our survival. You know, if we want to survive these times and what's really going on, we gotta think outside, start thinking outside the box.
Right. Now, fresh off the West, did you throw your number? If you might, if you threw your number out there, that could be blocking. As a matter of fact, you know, spell out some of the numbers if you don't already try to throw it up and it ain't come through. 'Cause I just got you passing that hit me up little acronym, but try it a different way. And I hit your line to add you to the call, whatever you may have to say. I need to get on getting that other okay, let me hit that up. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm hitting your line right now. Knock this up.
Yo,
What's going on?
what's up, big dog? Yeah, I just want to call in, man. How y'all doing?
We're doing pretty good.
That's cool. Yeah, y'all started touching on my area, man. Talking about the Now Valley, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, but the other, like when I tuned into your channel, y'all was talking about the laws and R. Kelly. I ain't hear exactly what you said about the law, whatever laws they changing. I heard you mention some sex trafficking shit afterwards. But shit, man, y'all on the right track though, because that shit stem from all the way. Man, I've been studying that shit, man. Some shit happened to me. And, you know, I started studying that shit. But when I started studying about Egypt, for some reason, I wanted to know what was the oldest creation story I could find. And I found it over there. But anyway, long story short, man, the main thing I want to point out is about that first dynasty
Okay.
of Kemet. Because y'all heard about Osiris and Isis, the Latin name of Asar and Aset. But my interpretation of the story, I ain't never heard no motherfucker say it in the type of way that I understand. That you know, I feel like I understand the shit from what I get. You know, they disperse the story. You can't really get. You get bits and pieces from different places if you're looking for the shit. But anyway, long story short, the first king of the first dynasty, them niggas say that he was an angel, per se. You know, we get caught up in terms and generalities. But anyway, he was an angel. He had been here in pre-dynastic time as one of the pre-dynastic rulers. But his brother was down here fucking shit up. He had men eating other men. So the court of angels commissioned him and his wife to touch back down on the earth in human form with human limitations. You know what I mean? So the nigga came down, the story is the nigga came down here in human form and conquered all nations with no weapons. Boom. So that's right there. It's a lot of points in there right there. Because most motherfuckers that hear this shit right here, if they hear this shit right here, they probably never heard that story before.
Okay.
About no nigga conquering all nations. But the point is, he conquered all nations with no weapons. It says he conquered all nations with no weapons, only music and eloquence, which is the gift to speak. You know, use words. They say he won everybody over with reason. But anyway, They said he eradicated cannibalism.
Who you talking about?
Wait.
You keep saying he.
Wait.
Cyrus.
Okay.
Asar.
Okay.
They said his brother Set, who we call, you know, if you study world religions, that's the nigga they talk about the devil, or you know, they might say Satan in the Jewish literature. You know what I'm saying? They call it Satan. It's Set in Latin. Well, even I guess you know, in the Netzer, they call him Set too. They call him Set. But this the nigga we talk about is called Satan or the devil.
Hey, Fresh Out the West, let King Righteous holler at
I mean,
you.
what are you trying to? What's your point, man? What you trying to get at? I mean,
my point is, well, okay, another point. You was talking about the South. You know what I mean? That's where Kimmy came from. But they said that Set had 72 conspirators to kill his team. And some of them was the Hittites, who was white boys. And half the other them was niggas. They said the Queen Aso from Ethiopia was in that clique. So you got black ass niggas and white boys on there. It ain't no color thing. That's what I'm saying. It is a color thing dynamic going on.
Well,
but don't let that distract you from it's really the righteous. It's really the wicked against the righteous. See what I'm saying? That black, they say, oh, it's gonna be white boys. We say it's gonna be a race war, all that. Nah, what it is the righteous versus the wicked.
Okay, well let Righteous get in his point.
Okay, so basically saying we have a spiritual warfare going on, or
it's spiritual warfare, but in the material realm.
Yeah.
Like that shit's still going on now from all angles. They doing it. They capitalizing more and more.
Right.
On every angle. Like you said, I don't know what he said about new laws and sex trafficking, but
you just gotta look into all that yourself. But as far as this the dynasties that you're talking about, I'm not exactly sure which dynasty, Asar and Aset, and
the first dynasty.
That was the first dynasty? Okay, if that was the first. Okay, if that was the first dynasty, then I don't know if you're familiar with the Anunnaki. Because you were touching on something. So I'm just saying, if you're familiar with the Anunnaki, then this is deeper than any of that stuff they're talking about in Egypt. Okay? Because the first man came from the universe. As far as coming to this plane and that region in particular. So if you understand if you understand who Anu is, this is deeper than, the Egyptology or whatever, so I'm going a little deeper into it. But as far as you talking about races.
I mean, I learned a little bit about that, but I know for a fact they got Egyptology. They don't got Sumerianology.
Exactly. Yep.
And they keep trying to back the dates up on that shit.
Yep.
But they ain't got nothing but some little bitty tablets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And them tablets is wrote in
that's where Saddam was at. Where is that?
Ancient Babylon.
Cuneiform, we invented that for them.
Yeah.
So they telling our story. That's still us.
Exactly.
It was all around the world.
That's what I'm trying to say. So while we stuck on the Nile, we really all over the globe. See, we really ain't just. I'm not saying you.
The Valley of the Kings is important.
Right, I'm not saying you. Hold on.
Documents is undisputed. Okay,
hold on. That means that's what's been researched. That's the earliest civilization. But some brothers, some of the Israelites, some brothers studied
that man been here for a long time.
They say that there's a civilization earlier than the Nile Valley, and that's the Sumerians. The Sumerian.
But them was niggas too. Them was niggas.
Oh yeah, we get all that. We right. Okay, yeah, we get all that they were black. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
you say they was niggas.
We have documented. Okay, we have that. I try to study. Them. I try to study all world religions after certain thing happened to me.
But
I wanted to see what's wrong, like for myself. What the fuck? All the shit that inconsistencies that I've seen, and that's just how I felt. I wanted to know like if somebody comes to me with that bullshit and I can know the difference between what happened at this time and who did what, you know, because it matters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying is, so we don't have to keep going on this all that. I mean, yeah, history is good, you know what I'm saying? So, but our culture is so much deeper than the now, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. If you understand the original man's culture, we come from the universe. We don't just come from one region. We're from the universe. That's why we're melanated. I mean,
our spirit
okay?
Ain't from here. This
Not just our spirit. I'm saying it's a reason.
In this life, but we in the material. We are the material and the spirit.
Hold on here. Right.
In the same being.
Hear me out.
At the same time.
We're not just spirit. We're flesh. We're spirit. We're physical. Exactly. So, but
exactly. That's why a lot of people, when they say, "Oh, well, God don't exist," how he said that. But look, and then they say, "Well, Egypt, they didn't know how to count it." They be lying, my nigga, is what I'm saying, because the Valley of the Kings is documented. They can't erase it. Like if they still trying to dig shit up and find out new shit about it.
This is what I mean by I think outside the box.
Right.
This is what
I ain't trying to take over your show.
No,
no.
You good. But here,
I'm just saying that. Can I just make one point?
Go ahead. Yep.
And then I'll be through. Because for this conversation, this point got to go in. On the West Bank, they show you, if you Google the Valley of Kings, it's going to show you the West Bank only, where King Tut is, Akhenaten, and shit like that. You know, 18th dynasty. I mean, it's from the 2nd dynasty up. But on the East Bank, you know, like the sun rises in the east, Muslims pray to the east. All the tombs, all the kings on the Valley of Kings, all they temples that they tombs is in is facing to the east. So that, you know, when the sun rises, shining in. But it's also, I feel like it's telling me to look to the east. On the East Bank, the first three, well, I'm going to say the last three temples and tombs is Isis, Osiris, and Horus. The second first dynasty king, Horus. Heru, the hero, where the word hero comes from. You know what I'm saying? Every hero story is based on it, from Godfather and Mike, and they had Michael. If you learn the story, you will see from the Bible to the Bible to now, they just rewriting our story. We don't know it. They say know thyself on them temples. I mean, the shit means like when people, what they call the motherfuckers that say they don't believe in God and shit.
Atheists.
Atheists. Well, show me some proof. Y'all talking about Egypt, but show me some proof. They want me to write something down in a book. This when niggas was right, that you, in a way that you can't even fucking erase the shit, man. They've been trying to erase a lot of that shit. They can't even, it's too much. And they wouldn't even know half the shit. They trying to steal. Them niggas knew they was going to bury the shit. These niggas was going to try to get their gold and learn. And so thousands of years in the future after that slavery shit, we was going to get it.
Okay, right. Let me ask you.
That shit.
Fresh out the West. Hold up.
Let me ask you something.
Hermetica.
All right,
Hermetica, they prophesied
all right, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Yeah, we understand. I understand the history of Kemet. See, that's one thing we gotta stop saying too. Because when you say Egypt, what you're really saying, you're talking about the Greek, the time when the Greeks colonized that region. When they that area, when they colonized that area in particular, which was the northern part of Africa, which they call Egypt today, that was the Greeks who named it that, because it was once Kemet, not Egypt. Okay, that's the ancient term for it. So those terms that we're using, or the language that we're speaking, which is English, because that's the only way we can communicate. You know, this language that we're using is English. So when we speak those terms, Egypt, and we say Osiris, we say Isis, we say Horus, right? Those are Greek terminologies. That's not what their names were. The name was Asar, Aset, and baby Heru in the land of ancient Kemet. Okay.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm right.
Right. You feel me? So yeah, that's a Greek terminology. So now when we study the ancient history of that region, Kemet, okay, there was a empire that was in existence while Kemet was in existence before the Greeks, before the Persians came in there, okay, before the ancient Persians or the Sumerians, okay. That you what you know about the Kushite Empire?
Yeah, Ethiopia.
No, that's no
Kush,
Ethiopia.
Nubia, Punt, Ethiopia.
No, Ethiopia was yet the region was once called Ethiopia at 1 hour, but there was an empire called the Kushite Empire. They weren't Ethiopians; they were Kushites. That's what I'm trying. They were
Right.
actually they were Nubians actually. They weren't Ethiopians. That's where we get I see that's another terminology that we're using, and that's not right. Correct.
I mean, the New American Bible, you know, in the subscript where they say Nubia, and they say they talk about Ethiopia.
Right.
So that's what they talking
Okay.
about is their colonized region.
Right.
But
That was
them was all the niggas. Them was all niggas.
yeah. Right. So what my question was, what do you know about the 25th dynasty?
Man, at the 25th dynasty, man, they were so mixed. That's 25th dynasty. They got to be Rome. Romans was the king of Egypt at that time.
No, that's not true. That's not true, bro.
It is true. Get the
I just asked you what.
Get the hieroglyphic.
That's not. See, now you talking.
By E. Wallace Bush.
You talking.
You got that list of kings. You got
brother.
You got whole dynasties of Persian kings, Greek kings.
Wait.
Okay,
Fresh out the West. Here righteous is point. Then you get add on.
You saying that was mixed? That was a mixed dynasty. Where you said the 25th?
I'm saying Egypt. Look, the first dynasty.
I'm not talking about the first dynasty.
A certain group of niggas.
He ain't listening
dynasty,
now.
Another nigga killed the nigga.
He ain't
killed the
listening.
nigga. His sons took over. Then.
Brother.
Eventually, the other faction took over.
Okay, listen. Okay.
Fresh out the West. Wait. Well, let righteous put his point, and then
you talking about the first dynasty. I'm not talking about the first dynasty. So if you got the first dynasty,
the 25th dynasty, yeah, they was passing around. I'm saying Persia had their turn. Shit. Rome had their turn. Greece. They had their turn.
That's the point I'm making. They had their turn where? In Egypt. They had their term where? These people, the Persians in Egypt. Exactly. Now, my statement to you is go study the 25th dynasty, and then you'll see where I'm coming. Because that was a part, that wasn't a part of Egypt per se. Or Kemet. That was Nubia. That's where the Kushite Empire came from. Now when you study,
came in and waned for a while.
Now when you study, hold on. Now when you study the 25th dynasty, then you'll understand where I'm coming from. Because they conquered Egypt or Kemet at 1 hour because of the Persians and the Libyans were coming in there. They actually helped fight against them. And they ruled the 25th dynasty of that region, what they call Egypt or Kemet. Not Egypt, It was Kemet. Yeah, the Kushite Empire did. That's the 25th dynasty. That's been wiped out of history. That's been erased. If you go to any museum, the London Museum, the Egyptian, that's the dynasty they hide from people. See? About the Kushites, the Nubians. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can give
that would be my recommendation to you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah,
go check out. You can Google it. You can go on YouTube. You go online. Google the 25th dynasty in particular. Okay.
But I say for a modern aspect where the common man will kind of understand what he's talking about. Like, say you got a Target, and then this been Target for 10 years, but then Walmart comes in and takes over that building, and it's a Walmart now. A lot of people remember that as Target, but now it's living as Walmart now.
Or Cub.
Or Cub, or a grocery store or something.
Yeah, I offered to give somebody a ride up there, right? And they didn't know me. I said, I've been around. I
Right.
said, I remember this used to be Target. This
Right.
was looked at. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Or just like
You
think
know?
about our neighborhoods. Think about this always been the hood. This been the hood for eons, but now it's gentrification. So now you see a
Or
lot of
now it's,
different people,
yeah,
strolling through here, and they rename it instead of it being,
what it used to
the
be.
east side. This is
Right.
the upper east side or something to fit, this new demographics that's,
Right.
taking over this
And you
area.
got a whole different dynamic of people running
Right.
around.
Mm-hmm.
But and just like the Dollar Tree, I
Mm-hmm.
remember that was New Market. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't nothing but niggas running around there.
Right.
Okay, but now it's the Dollar Tree and
AutoZone.
AutoZone and
Yeah.
a whole bunch of different motherfuckers
Right.
running around. So that's what I'm saying. So we studied that region and its intensity, in its entirety, not just when it was colonized, but before those regions was colonized. Then you'll see where I'm coming from. Because at that time when Kemet was, before it was really colonized, it was powerful, the Kushite Empire was up and running, and they used to coexist with the Kemites, the Kushites. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, niggas I ain't saying like they just been laying down, man. Niggas been fighting the whole time. I'm saying it's the same fight.
But I'm saying, but you got to understand this.
Waged against the same people.
You got to understand this particular dynasty. That's what this is important. That you understand the 25th dynasty. Then you can look at Kemet or Egypt for what it really is. Before it was really called, because it was the Kemite or the Kushites that helped fight against them foreign invaders that worked with the Kemetics, the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, not the modern day Egyptians.
Good niggas that raise up. That's what they trying to stop now. Niggas,
So
it's gonna be some shit. Niggas gonna get together, I believe.
So yeah, so that'd be my advice to you. Look up that 25th dynasty, and then next time we'll chop it up. Then let me know what you think.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else to add, or that was about it? Or you want to talk about the R. Kelly situation where you said you didn't hear everything?
What was the law thing that you said was mentioning? I didn't get that part.
Because, okay.
Changing laws.
Yeah, they're changing laws because think of it like this. Okay, they've been talking about human trafficking. Everybody's been hearing about human trafficking. But now since that Epstein, that billionaire, and now, they done added, was it three or two more cases to R. Kelly situation, they switched it to sex trafficking. You see how they're touting it in the media, sex trafficking. That's totally different than human trafficking. It's sex trafficking now. So that means they done drafted some more laws to catch him or get him caught up in something else,
They capitalizing on niggas through the pussy.
Yeah, but think about it like this. This is just me thinking how they done drafted a new thing. Okay, say, they came out with that Surviving R. Kelly. Okay, say he was paying whoever he was paying. They probably came to them like, okay, you're receiving this money for why? Why is he paying you? Because he's paying them in their currency, the Federal Reserve currency. So you figure you're paying these people out for what reason? And if they give them up, well, now we can hang you on this because now these people done got on the record saying they got money from you for this particular reason. You can't do that. That's how we got you now. You're on the hook.
Yeah.
Essentially how they got...
They probably...
No, go ahead.
They probably got to show wrongful intention on behalf of whoever they trying to prosecute on that. They'll have to show wrongful intention with that money.
Right, and think about it like this. A lot of people done forgot about this because the man's gone. But Red Fox, Red Fox,
for that money.
Red Fox didn't pay taxes. They said he didn't pay taxes. Well, how he got caught up? That last movie he was on, Harlem Nights. He had Eddie Murphy pay him in cash. Okay, you get paid in cash. Well, Eddie Murphy still got to, declare where that money went to. Well, since he declared where it went to, they're looking, well, Eddie Murphy said he paid it to you, but you didn't pay us. So that's how we're, gonna take all the things you have because you didn't declare some money that you received, that we know you received. You was in a major motion picture that we know made money. So I mean, that's how they get you on the back end.
Yeah, man. I mean, they got all kind of tricks and traps for a nigga out here, man. Motherfucker think it's sweet.
Right. That's why brothers need to be up on it.
Get niggas like on that Wesley Snipes shit. I feel like because he made a documentary on one of our scholars, you know, Dr. Henry Clark. He probably made it himself. He narrated. After that, that's when they came hit him with that motherfucking that tax evasion type of shit. Man,
right.
And he was fucking with Dr. York down there in Atlanta.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they came and got him. You know what I mean?
Right. But it's two things on that makes me think about the Wesley Snipes. I heard he was gonna start a all black security company, and they didn't like that. Cause you figure if you got all,
he made a production company, Almond Raw Productions. All the the blades after that was like they like B movies, but they was on his label. You
right.
Know what I'm saying? I mean, if man, that nigga probably got 2 or 3 accountants, man, and attorneys, man.
Somebody.
To be
he trusted somebody to do his taxes.
Man, he got so many movies.
And they,
Blade 1, 2, 3.
And they try to say he didn't have to pay taxes for certain.
Man.
Right. This is what I think with the tax thing. He had like a tax preparer, like anybody would hire a tax preparer. But you think about that tax preparer being a double agent. Okay, we're gonna say don't do this, fill this part out on his
and that's what it was.
Fill this part out on his thing. Really so now we can get in his business now. It don't even matter if you got the money to pay the taxes.
If he ain't on this motherfucker, how he supposed to be?
Because he had somebody doing his taxes.
Right.
They fucked it up.
You know what I mean?
And he ended up dead. He only did 3 years.
Else is a trap.
Right.
Well, and it's the double cross, infiltration and shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've done about hours.
About 66 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been covering some areas. Hopefully, the brothers and sisters is listening. Matter of fact, they probably gonna hear on the replay because there ain't been a lot of people, coming up in here. But I'm glad you chimed in fresh out the West. You added something to the conversation that need to be heard.
Yeah, I be tapping in, man. I fucks with you, man.
Matter of fact, fresh out the West, how old is you? Because you don't sound, like you're a real old cat.
43.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you sound younger than that.
For a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay, youthful and active, and attractive.
Right. You got to do that.
Where you from?
You in Indianapolis, ain't you?
Yeah. Indianapolis, yeah. West Side, Harville.
All right.
Yeah, but shit, I'll be trying to spread my hustle. I need to come out y'all way. See what it do in that in the Twin Cities. Ain't that where y'all at?
Yeah, we up here.
Yeah. I had a couple girls from out there, but I ain't never been around there.
Well,
I've been hearing about it.
Yeah, it's the land of lakes.
He said it's going down.
Yeah, it's the land of lakes, man, but a whole bunch of snakes, too.
All right. I get
So, you gotta know how to move around here, that's all.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's good talking to y'all, man.
You too,
Thanks
bro.
for having me.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, then.
Yep. Bye.
Man.
Yeah, but I guess the ones that are in here, hey, I'm glad that y'all came in. I'm glad that hopefully you didn't get knocked out or you got the live stream connection, or not live stream connection, but the notification that I was on with RYCHUS, and you heard how it went down. You can put your number up, and the conversation will flourish. You'll learn something from it. It'll be a learning lesson, something that you need to know about.
You're gonna get something.
If ain't nobody else got nothing to say, we'll end up ending this. I think the last person that commented said bring back billions. I don't have no problem with billions, being honest. It's just hard to catch up with billions.
Okay.
Female I used to be on here, but she dips off of social media, and it's hard to track, keep track with her. Since nobody else got nothing to add, hey, tune in again, catch us again. It'll be another phenomenal one. We up.
Peace.